Greetings everyone, it's nice to see all of your beautiful faces again. Today, I'm hoping to resolve a little oil leak on the drift car here. As you can see, I've got a small little puddle here. I can't tell exactly where it's coming from. It's slightly terrifying because it looks as if it would be like from the rear main seal, but I'm hoping it's just somehow the oil filter housing gasket and oil's like dripping down the back side of the motor and whatnot. But you know, it's not very gross, you know, like right here where you would suspect it to be. It is wet up in here, but I honestly think it's just power steering fluid from the fluid getting so hot. Hello. From the fluid getting so hot while drifting. But if you take a peek-see at the transmission here, yeah, it's not looking good. And if I had a light and you could see up in these two holes here, one of them is a little moist, so that's not ideal. And quick side note, I really don't think this is normal, but check out my radiator, dude. It's got like it's smiling at me. But hey, I think it's fine. In order for me to replace this oil filter housing gasket, I gotta get all this junk out of my way. The power steering fluid reservoir, the alternator's gotta go, and maybe this fan shroud, I'm gonna try and leave it, but we will see. So I'm gonna start by disconnecting the battery so I don't die when I remove the alternator, but that's pretty simple. So I'm gonna throw you in my tripod that I got just for you guys. So, you know, like maybe you should subscribe because that would be nice. I already lied a little bit. I'm gonna also go ahead and drain all the oil out of this thing because I am also going to be rebuilding the vanos system, but that will be in a separate video, so stay tuned. For the record, I do not think that this oil filter housing gasket is gonna solve my problem here. However, $3 gasket is much easier than rear main seal. Let's get this road on the show, shall we? So first, you know, I'm gonna get this bad boy out of the way. It was already loose, bear with me. Then, gonna move this guy out of the way. What do we think? Probably a 13. Yup. I swear this whole car is made with 13mm and T30. Shoddy is crusty. So in order to get this belt off, there is a little cap on this pulley here. If I remember correctly, that pries off. Yup. And then I think there's a hex in there. All right, so 8 times a charm. It is a T50. All right, so like I said, 8 times a charm. We got a T50 on my long ratchet here in righty-tighty mode. Should be able to move it just enough. Slip the belt off. Now I need to remove this pulley because it also acts as an alternator bolt. Now I'm hoping this guy is also just a cap that pries off. That it is. Fell right off, didn't even have to pry it. Got one 16mm bolt holding this pulley and top alternator bracket on. You know, I should probably loosen things on the back of the alternator first, but here we are. All right, it's all the way loosened up now. I can just slip it out of here like so. Now we are going to switch gears to the back of thy alternator. Looks like there's one plug up top here, just a little pinch and push guy. Ow. Interesting. Now I'll move to the lower alternator bolt. This puppy is a little snug. Hypothetically speaking, I should be able to remove the alternator. Let me. Okay, yep. Oh, like butter. Move that out of my way. Well, as you can see here, I now have access to my oil filter housing. It's these 6 bolts here. The other one's hiding up top right there. And if we look down in here, there is some oil on the side of the block and the side of the pan right there. A little bit, but not a lot. So like I said, I really don't think that this is gonna be a major problem, but it's not hard to get to. It's a cheap part. It can only help. I think the only thing left to do here is the oil line from the vanos unit to the oil filter housing, which it appears as if it is a 19 millimeter, and hopefully there's no oil, but I have a rag just in case. Nice and dry. Now we should be all fine and dandy to loosen up these 6 oil filter housing bolts. Whoop, whoop. That sounds like 2. Oh, there we go. Golly. I kind of forgot that the power steering pump and everything is also attached to this guy, so I can't remove it all the way unless I remove that. So, alrighty, the power steering pump is disconnected. Now I should be able to take this whole oil filter housing out of the car. Alright. There we have it. Crusty unit. All right, this here should be fun. Here is my new oil line for that guy right there. So I'm gonna try and break this guy loose and get this one on in the same orientation. You can do it, I know it. There you go, good oil line. Now, I was really hoping this gasket was gonna be super hard and brittle, but it honestly doesn't seem like it's in terrible shape. Shout out to FCP Euro, hooked me up with a 5% off code, so I'm basically Chelsea DeNofa. All right, new gasket is in, and I can't think of any reason why I shouldn't bolt this back up to the motor. Try not to get a bunch of dirt and stuff all over. Alright, well, I'm gonna throw some bolts in it and see if it'll suck it up to the block. I'm not gonna use the new bolts that I bought because the old ones seem to be in good shape, and I'd rather return the old ones and get some money back. Hopefully, fingers crossed, oil filter housing's properly bolted back up to the motor. All right, everybody, my phone is about to die, so you're not gonna get to see me put everything back together. However, before my phone dies, I wanted to let you know that I am not going to run this stainless line because it doesn't fit great right here because of how thick this portion of the line is, and also it is at least an inch longer than the stock oil line, so it just doesn't fit as well as this guy will. So unfortunately, I don't get to run the cool stainless line, and hopefully I can send it back. But that is gonna do it for this video. So I hope that somehow you found this helpful and or entertaining. But unfortunately for me, the car is still leaking oil near the bell housing. So it looks like your boy's gonna be doing a clutch and a rear main seal here in the near future. So you don't wanna miss that. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and hey, I'll see you then. Toodles.